We doing this fine Tuesday evening? Welcome to the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. My name is Amy. Welcome to my show. Coming to you from the backwoods of Arkansas. Oh, what's going on in the world? Well, I'll tell you. Ryan Upchurch has lost his fucking mind. And I have written a special little song about him. Goes a little something like this. He's a holler boy. He ain't no true crime detective. He's a holler boy. Thinks with his own stone perspective. He's a holler boy from the backwoods of Tennessee. And that holler boy thinks that the Keily Rodni Case is a conspiracy. And that holler boy thinks that Anne Heche didn't exist. Well, that holler boy needs to cease and desist. What the fuck is wrong with you, Ryan Upchurch? You know, I feel like I am hitting the bottom of the barrel because I'm even fucking talking about you. And I actually liked you. My granddaughter and my oldest daughter are big fans of yours. I mean, I'm more of a 90s hip-hop girl. I'm not into this new age hip-hop stuff. But I mean, I like your music. But why you have come into the true crime community and you're talking shit about everybody and how stupid we all are. Hi, blind guy. How are you? I'm Amy. You're new here. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button and hang out with me. It's kind of late. I normally don't really do lives this late, but I have just been, a lot of things have been going on with me personally, but and I wasn't even going to talk about this whole thing with Ryan Upchurch. But when he said that Anne Heche didn't exist, bitch, I was watching Anne Heche on television on another world before your fucking holler ass was even born. Hey, True Crime and Coffee, how are you? I'm getting down in the dirt with dogs tonight. It's good to see you too, True Crime and Coffee. I have been watching some of your videos and stuff, and it just... oh, hey, Bob. How are you? I was watching your video earlier about Timmy D's, and that case just makes me break down because of what poor Barbara has been through. And but you know, I wasn't going to talk about Ryan Upchurch, but when he said Anne Heche didn't exist, like, and the Keily Rodni case is fake, and like, how would he like it if, let's say, Keily Rodni or Anne Heche was on YouTube saying that Ryan Upchurch does not write his own songs. He's another Milli Vanilli. That's his brother that's actually singing for him. He's only lip syncing because his brother's got 3 eyes and doesn't have no legs. So he can't go out in public and sing. So it's Ryan lip syncing for his no-leg, 3-eyed brother. And that Ryan Upchurch's real name ain't even Ryan Upchurch. It's Clarence Engelbert. You know? I mean, come on. You do sound like Alex Jones. And unless you want to start forking out $40 million to Keily Rodni's family, I suggest you shut the fuck up. You were all gung-ho about the Keily Rodni case and finding her. You were going to donate your Hellcat and blah, blah, all this and that and other. And then you just up and decide it's all a big conspiracy. It's all fake. Adventures with Purpose didn't investigate the car. That's not their job. That's the police's job. The coroner comes to the scene. They remove her body or whatever from the car. The police investigate the car, and the crime scene unit, they do all that investigating. Adventures with Purpose don't do that. So, you know, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know if he's just trying to get a rise out of people, or if he really believes all this. But when you have a following as big as he does, just like Alex Jones had, and you start putting out all this kind of fake and false information, you're going to find yourself in some deep shit, little boy. I'm here to tell you. And you're going to get removed from YouTube. I mean, I don't care if you get removed from YouTube or not. But, I mean, you know, I'm just saying. But, you know, I wanted to address it because, you know, he's out here calling all of the KDL Outlaw Tour. No, I haven't. But, you know, I wanted to address it because it's disrespectful to Keily Rodni's family. It's disrespectful to Anne Heche's family. It's disrespectful to me, to True Crime and Coffee, to Bob, to all the other creators out here that have channels that you're calling stupid. And people, I don't believe everything people tell me. There's half the shit in this world that I don't believe. And I won't get into that. But I am the type of person that does question everything. But I'm not questioning, well, he stood all his fans that bore a family. Oh, he just comes across as arrogant. Like just an arrogant narcissist. Oh, wow. You know, I really never knew anything about him. You know, I knew that he had, you know, made comments about the Summer Wells case and stuff, but I didn't listen to his music. My oldest daughter and my granddaughter listened to his music. But, you know, I'm an old school I'm a 90s hip hop girl. I listen to the real shit. The real gangsta shit. Oh, God. Ashley and Maya love Jelly Roll. Ashley wants to marry Jelly Roll, okay? She is so in love with Jelly Roll. Give me some Snoop. D-O-double-G. Oh, my gosh. True Crime and Coffee. I cannot stop watching the Super Bowl halftime show from this year. Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, 50 Cent. I watched it yesterday. I mean, I just watch it over and over and over. And every year, I don't know how they're going to top it. But, man, and you know, to think that Dr. Dre almost pulled out. He almost didn't do it. And just think, wow, you know. But, yeah, I love that performance. My other favorite performance from halftime, I mean, of course, it's Michael Jackson and Prince. But my other favorite halftime show is Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Nelly, Mary J. Blige. Yeah. NSYNC, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige. That one, I always loved that. That one. And even though I'm not a Beyonce fan, I mean, the Beyonce and Bruno Mars and Coldplay was good, but I'm just not a Beyonce fan. But anyway, yes, Nelly. My daughter went on a trip to Dallas in college with her friends, and normally, even though she's of age and she can do what she wants to, and even now, you know, she's married and lives in Virginia Beach, but she still tells me what she's doing and where she's going to go when it comes to certain things, because she knows that it's important for me to know these things, you know, in case something were to happen. And I am still very, you know, strict with her about, well, if you're going to go to this or you're going to go here, I don't want you to go without her husband, or I don't want you to go without your friends. And, you know, even though I'm in Arkansas and she's in Virginia Beach, there's not a whole lot I can do. You know, call me when you get here, call me. You know, I'm just still that overprotective mother, but she understands it. She knows why I'm that way. Yep, mother's job is never over. It never is. But her and her friends went to a Nelly concert in Dallas, Texas, and she didn't say nothing about it until she came back. But, I mean, she kind of didn't have a choice. Hi, honey, I love you. Y'all, she's in the house. Shaughnessy Nicole is in the house. But, yeah, she comes back and tells me, oh, yeah, we went to a Nelly concert. I'm like, you went to a Nelly concert in Dallas, Texas? Are you fucking nuts? But yeah, she I was a little leery about that one, because it, you know, it's just, I mean, it's one thing, you know, when we would go to concerts in Little Rock, but Texas is a whole nother ball game, because we went and saw Kiss and Motley Crue in San Antonio. Yeah. And my God, whoo, that place is big. Yeah, we see way too much out of Texas. I mean, you know, I reported on my Spotify channel about Astro World, that whole thing with Travis Scott and that demonic concert he put on, and all them people that died and stuff, and, you know, that was just horrific. And I mean, I just lose my fucking mind if something happened to one of my kids like that. Yeah. It would be over for me. It would. But I haven't I've been in a few people's chats and whatnot, but I haven't done a live since I did a live, last week on the Cupcake McKinney case. If you haven't seen that, be sure and watch it. But the reason why I haven't really been on is because August is a tough month for me. August 23rd was the 35th anniversary of the murder of my friends Kevin Ives and Don Henry, also known as the Boys on the Tracks. There is a playlist on here on my channel, an open playlist that's titled Kevin Ives and Don Henry. And if you all would please watch that documentary and watch the episode from Unsolved Mysteries that they did on it. The episode about D.B. Cooper is also on that Unsolved Mysteries, but they are in a playlist here on my channel. And watch it and just, and understand, what all happened. I have thought a million times about making a video about it and talking to you all about it and how it affected me and how I knew all the players involved in the case and everything. But hey, Johnny R. Kramer, how are you? But I have never actually talked about the case with anybody, with strangers. And I mean, I've discussed it over, the last 35 years with my, there's several suspects. Couple of cops, prosecuting attorney, the governor, you name it. A drug lord named Barry Seals, Governor Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, during the time that Barry Seals was flying in cocaine from Colombia, from Pablo Escobar, flying it into Mena Airport, Mena, Arkansas. But I've never talked about it actually with strangers. Over the years, I've seen, a lot of people have done videos on it, on the case. A lot of people that, never knew Kevin or Don, never knew Keith or Jeff or any of my friends that were murdered in connection with theirs. And I see people comment and stuff, but people, don't truly understand it unless you lived through it. And then my kids have had to live through it. And even my granddaughter, who sat on the Capitol steps 25 years after the fact in her little stroller. She's now 10 years old. I never dreamed that was possible. But I've never discussed it with people I didn't know, and because it's very emotional, and I'm one that a lot of times I keep my emotions to myself, and I don't want to break down in front of people. And one of the people that was accused, one of the suspects in the case, in the murder, was like a father figure to me. He was like a father figure to me. He and my mother were best friends in high school. And he did so much for me and my mother. I mean, there was a time that I wished he and my mom would have just gotten married. Because my stepdad was Lucifer himself. And Danny, you know, had such horrible luck with women, you know. I always just kind of wished that he and my mom would get married, you know, because he adored my mother adored him. I looked to him like a father figure. I'd go up to his law office and hang out with him and stuff. And it took me a long time to accept that he could be involved in all of it. And I swept a lot of shit under the rug with him. And till I just couldn't sweep no more under the rug. And there was an incident in a parking lot one day where I ran into him in a parking lot. It was just, you know, haphazard thing, and I ran into him in the parking lot, and we were standing there talking, and this woman that I knew, this old crack whore, she walks up and interrupts us. And he and I were talking about something really important. And for me, he was saying, well, Amy, where are you going to get the money? And, you know, how are you going to do this and that and the other? This fucking crack whore walks up and interrupts our conversation in this parking lot. And what does he do? Turns around, talks to her, picks up his phone, and calls another attorney in a high position to do something for her. This fucking crack whore, whose son was a menace to society. Sick ass menace to society. And that's when it clicked. That's when it clicked in my head that everything everyone had said about him was true. I don't know why it was that particular incident that made everything click, but it did. And I just thought to myself, you really are guilty. You really are guilty of the shit that everybody says you are. And from then on, it's just been a battle. I went with Linda Ives to one of his trials where he was being accused of drugs and a bunch of crap. And that he ended up getting out of. Yeah, I'm still in the area. I don't live in my hometown anymore. I live about 50 miles away from my hometown now. But, I mean, I'm still, you know, in the area. But, you know, but every year on the 23rd of August, I'm 17 years old again. And I'll never forget standing in Ashley's dad's mom's living room when it came on the news that they had found Kevin and Don dead on the tracks. And the early call by the medical examiner was that they were trying to call it a double suicide. And I'm like, no, that is horse shit. Ain't nobody gonna believe that. I mean, these two boys were so good looking, so cute. They were popular. they were starting their senior year that following Monday. We were all starting our senior year. They went to Bryant and I went to Benton. Benton and Bryant are rival high schools. We play in a little tournament-like thing. Not a tournament, but we play for a trophy. It's called the Salt Bowl. Back when I was in high school, we actually used to play Bryant. That was our last game of the year. But then the football teams quit playing in the same conference. But we wanted to continue that rival, so they created the Salt Bowl and started playing at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. But I haven't. The last Salt Bowl I went to was my daughter's senior year, and we won't talk about how disappointing that was, because half the football team was in trouble. So some of our starting players didn't get to play. And anyway, but you know, it's just so hard, you know, because there's never been any justice. There's never been any justice in anybody's case except for Jeff. And the truth was never told about the real reason why Jeff was murdered. Jeff Rhodes. The truth was never told about why my ex-boyfriend Keith Coney was murdered. Yeah, wasn't half the football team in trouble? Didn't they get caught drinking at a party or something? Your senior year, the Salt Bowl? Or am I thinking off my rocker again? Wait, you know what? I think I'm thinking about a different year. Maybe I'm thinking about, that's right. Yeah, Kaysen, yeah, he was out because he was, okay, Shaughnessy, you know how I am. I confuse stuff. I'm thinking about the year that everybody got in trouble for drinking and we lost our ass. Because I was standing there talking to Greg, not our cousin Greg, but Greg that I went to high school with, who was one of the coaches, and I was standing outside the locker room, and the team walked out, and you looked like they'd been to a funeral. So I guess I'm confusing that. There's so many different incidences that happen. But anyway, you know, the truth was never told. Jeff Rhodes' murderer went to prison, but the truth was never told about why he was murdered. The truth was never told about why Keith Coney was murdered. And his death went down as I'm freezing up, I can tell. His death went down as a traffic fatality. Keith McCaskill, they sent this poor kid that I went to high school with to jail for his murder, and he couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, much less take on Keith McCaskill. His name was Shane Smith, but he did get out after a couple of years on an appeal. But, oh, do you? Yeah, I live in one of the most corrupt states, actually. I mean, our government is so corrupt. You know, you have the other case that's here in Arkansas that's so near and dear to me that, it's the West Memphis 3. And, here not long ago, Damian Eccles petitioned the court wanting to have further DNA testing done on some of the evidence, and they denied him. And they tried to lie to him about it. They tried to lie about that the evidence was destroyed in a fire. They lost it, then they found it, and then gave him a hearing. And that judge knew she was going to deny it before he ever walked into that courtroom. The two cases that Arkansas wants to go away is the Boys on the Tracks and the West Memphis 3. That's the two cases that Arkansas wishes they would never hear of again. But as long as there is a breath in my body, I will talk about Kevin Ives and Don Henry's murder, and I will talk about the West Memphis 3. So, and that's all I have to say about that. But, it's just, I don't know why. I've sat here now and talked a little bit about it and everything, but, because a lot of y'all, I do feel comfortable talking to you. You're not complete strangers to me. I talk to y'all somewhere on the internet on a daily, at least weekly basis. So, and I've come to know who I can trust, and who is good and who is bad, and who's honest and whatnot. And because there's just so much bullshit out here in these YouTube streets. But then there's a lot of good. And, you, True Crime and Coffee, and Arctic Fox, and Checking Convictions and all. Y'all got a great little team going for these missing kids. And, I really admire y'all. I think it's nice that we all do something different to get a wide range of true crime stuff, whether it's missing people, or whether it's trials, whether it's cases, whether it's old cases, serial killers, yes, and that was the greatest thing in the world I ever did, Shaughnessy Nicole. Your dad and I might not have been together for a hot minute, but that's the greatest thing I ever did. But that's what gives us a good community. I just wish we could get rid of these people that just want to want to defame the community, and you got this idiot who lives in a shed out back of his ex-wife's house, who thinks he's Billy Badass, and he literally looks like Charles Manson. He is raising money. He was raising money, putting people on a fake island that it was named after Epstein, to shit talk these people and put them on a fake island. And I was under the impression that he was doing it because he was trying to raise money for medical bills. Oh no! He was raising money to buy a fucking cricket. A cricket machine. You know what? I'm a DIYer. I'm a crafter. I do crafts every single day. I would love to have a Cricut. I would love to have a Cricut. I mean, who does he think wants to buy t-shirts or coffee cups or anything from him when I can go buy quality? If I wanted to sell Ruby Pearl Glamper merchandise, that I could go through a reputable company and get merchandise for my channel. Why in the hell would I want to buy from his Lucifer looking ass? I mean, just nasty. Just disgusting. And then you've got Ryan Upchurch all of a sudden doing what he's doing. And I don't understand. I really don't. Why is he doing this? I mean, I get it if he has an interest in true crime. You know, I mean, there have been a lot of celebrities and things that have picked up certain cases, like on Twitter or whatever. I'm trying to remember who it was. But there were some actresses I know that advocated for could sell his hair on. Exactly. Hell, like I said, he looks just like Charles Manson. Got these evil eyes and got these Michelle Carter fucking eyebrows. I mean, he's just crazy looking. And got a twang worse than I do. I mean, if I can't understand your southern twang, we got a problem. But I'm gonna tell you one goddamn thing, motherfucker. You ain't nothing but a goddamn piece of shit, man. And you ain't gonna do... I can't understand a damn word he says. And he's just... And that's all he does. Is sit in his damn shed out back of his ex-wife's house talking crap about people. But yeah, you know what? I'd like to have a Cricut too. Hell, I won't even put my Cash App up. Because I'm afraid somebody will track me down. Some crazy nut like him. You know, be tracking me down. Of course, I dare him to show up here. My landlord, he's, needless to say, you don't want to fuck with him. That's all I got to say about that. And me, I'm crazy enough to chase you down with a 2x4. I've done it before. In a bar parking lot. No doubt. I mean, I would turn the pit bull loose on him. Of course, I don't think he's going to come out of that shed anyway. But yeah, he's nuts. But you know, I just don't understand these people that bring defamation to the true crime community. And you know, how you... I mean, you know, it just seems like people... We as humans never learn our lesson. We never learn our lesson. It's like, did you not learn shit from Alex Jones? You got $40 million you want to fork out to Keily Rodni's family? Or to Anne Heche's family? Because Alex Jones had to do that with the Sandy Hook families. You know? Did we learn anything from George Floyd? No, we didn't, because here a week or so ago, and I haven't talked about this, but there were 3 cops in a little town here in Arkansas called Mulberry, and beat the shit out of this dude. Got it all on video. Now, they say this guy was a menace to society, and he has charges for assaulting cops and all this stuff and whatnot, but, you know, still, did we not learn anything from the George Floyd case? You can't fucking beat the shit out of people. Once you have somebody down and subdued and handcuffed, it's over. Yeah. I mean, they beat the shit out of that dude, beating his head into the pavement, kneeing him, kicking him, punching him in the head. Of course, that's the same shit we went through in the 80s. You know, these cops that were named as suspects for killing Kevin and Dawn, I mean, they had reputations for doing the same shit. Yeah, excessive force is a big issue. And, you know, I just don't understand. I mean, even when someone resists, and even when, you know, if they're standing there cussing you and everything, or, you know, even if they're a wanted serial killer that you've just caught, you know, once you have them down and handcuffed, that's it. You know, don't be beating the shit out of these people, because you're going to end up in prison with them, just like Derek Chauvin. But, you know, we humans just never ever seem to learn our lesson about anything. It just keeps going on and keeps going on, you know. I don't understand it. I really don't. Shaughnessy, your brother's over here sacked out. He's snoring. What are my grandkids doing? Apollo and Zuzu and Michael Connor. Aw, Apollo. Is he snoring? But anyway, so I mean, that's just kind of what's been going on with me. I've just, you know, I get in my feelings, and oh, the cats are being crackheads. You know, I get in my, oh, okay, you too. You have a good night, and I'll see you out here on the YouTube streets tomorrow, True Crime and Coffee. Kiss the baby for me. But that's just kind of what's been going on with me. It's just, you know, being, you know, in my feelings and everything. And I've been working on these Halloween decorations for my oldest daughter's house, and I've actually been having a ball doing all this. And she's going to shit a brick. Your sister's going to shit a brick when she sees all this stuff. And when I get all this put together and set up, it is going to look so freaking cool. She's going to love it. She's going to love it. I think it's cool. I wish I had room to set it all up, but I don't. But, and also, some of y'all may know that I had test injections done on my SI joints back at the beginning of the month. and I had a reaction. Well, I went to the doctor, went to pain management. I see the nurse practitioner. The only time I actually see the doctor is to get a procedure done. And she had a way different opinion than the nurse over at the surgery center had. Whatever he injected me with burnt my skin. It burnt my skin and left me with this huge wound. And it got infected, and I had to have some antibiotic cream called in order to finish getting this healed up. And let me tell you, it has been painful. Seriously painful. But it's doing a lot better, and it's probably got another week or two maybe of healing. But that's what happened. Whatever he injected me with burnt my skin. And I've never ever had that happen before. And I don't know why it happened this time. I truly think, and she thinks as well, that he may have actually missed my SI joint on the right hand side, on the right side, because where your SI joint is, like above your tailbone, where your SI joints are on each side of your spine, the wound, it looks like the medicine went down into the top of my buttock and burnt underneath the skin. And like I said, made this huge wound. And so I'm thinking maybe he missed my right side SI joint, because it didn't happen on the left side. It only happened on the right side. And it actually hurt really bad when he injected me. So that's what I think happened. And that's kind of what she thinks happened too. I don't know. But now I'm scared to death to get any more injections. Not that I really want to get any anyway. Not that I want to go through all that nerve burning and all that shit anymore. I've been doing this shit since 2013. And all I've done is gotten worse. More pinched nerves, more breaking down, you know. It's just a temporary solution to a long-term problem. Because they're trying to keep everybody off opioids. But anyway, yeah. So I told her that things would be off limits for a while. That I wouldn't be getting any injections or nerve burning or anything. And she said she understood. She said she didn't blame me, and that, you know, we definitely got to get this healed up first anyway before I do anything. So but that's kind of what's been going on with me. My fibro's kind of been kicking my butt this past week or so, because it's rained, then it cooled down, then it got hot again, and now it's just wears me out. If any of y'all out there have fibromyalgia, you know what it feels like. And, you know, my mom's disease, my mom had rheumatoid arthritis, severe rheumatoid arthritis. She had all artificial joints. She had multiple surgeries from the time I was 3 years old. And I know that her pain was 100 times greater than mine. And I lay here at nights and I ask her, Mama, how did you do it? How did you, with a smile on her face, you know, how did you do it? Because I'm strong, but don't know that I could ever be as strong as she was. You know, she had such a positive attitude and always had a smile on her face, and you know, but I just don't know how she did it all them years. Because like I said, I know her pain was 100 times greater than what mine is. But, of course, now fibromyalgia pain is different. It feels like, you know, you're sitting in a permanent electric chair. But, anyway. So that's kind of what's been going on with me, too. It's just my fibro kicking me in the rear. Who have I still got in the house? Who's still hanging in the crib with me? Well, I guess I'm going to get off here and join the pup over here and go to bed. I had a rough night last night. I mean, I was up at 3:30 this morning listening to Bullhorn Betty. And she's usually not even up at 3:30 in the morning. but she was. And but I had a rough night last night, and so I think I'm fixing to turn the air conditioner back on and hit the hay. But you all have a wonderful night. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in the chat and joining me. Like I said, I know it's late, but you all have a wonderful night and stay safe out there. And please always remember that I love you, Shaughnessy Nicole. And I love my Harley Wolfgang. And I love my Apollo and my Zuzu and my Michael Connor and Ashley and Moo and Ellie and Smokey and Gabby and Rosie, my two cats. But please, everyone remember, be the change that you wish to see in this world. As Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Peace out, everybody. Good night. Love you, Shaughnessy.